Hey guys, we're Joe and Margaux and we're about to start a huge cycling trip going from Alaska all the way down to Argentina, which is a huge feat for me because I'm a beginner cyclist. And we're also doing so whilst fundraising money for World Bicycle Relief and Rider.
And I'm a really keen cyclist, and this has been my dream for years and years to do the entire Americas route, so from Alaska all the way down to Argentina, through 2 continents, through Central America as well. And you join us just on our last day in Alaska. We've had to head up to north, the only part of going north on our journey, up to Toke Junction, before going south to then go around the mountains to continue the rest of our journey.
So yeah, we're about to head for the Canadian border now, and the sun is finally here because we've been freezing for the past 2 weeks. But you'll see that on the next few clips.
Going up the street now.
Stop!
Wow, look at that guy, not getting in the way of him.
The first encounter is a big animal. First day and the rain is on us. Do you think it's raining, Browns?
So yeah, you can see, look, car is there.
Yeah. We might be leaving the big road finally. After a couple hours on the bikes, we found our first lunch spot of the adventure, which was incredible. After that, we carried on the big highway that connects Anchorage to Palmer. That was the only way for us to leave the city we flew into. At this point, I didn't really know what emotions I felt, between the excitement of it all and the fear that comes with it too.
The adventure has brought on so many discoveries, some nicer than others. On day 2, we headed up into the Chugach mountain range.
There's a chance we can see some bears tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sleep well.
Keep us warm.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. I do really want to see a bear, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep like shit. Every noise I'm gonna be like, he's out there. As some of you may know, Joe is a confident cyclist and so was enjoying the downhills despite the weight on our bikes. Whereas I was still very cautious at this point. I also hadn't spread out the weight very evenly on the bike, so it felt quite wobbly, something I ended up adapting in the first few days.
Decided to start the bike trip in May to avoid the bigger heat down the line in Central America. But all of the Alaskans let us know that this year was the coldest spring they've ever known, which meant that we spent some pretty chilly nights in the tent. But an added bonus was that we had pretty much every campsite to ourselves.
We finally arrived in the Matanuska area, where our campsite overlooked its glacier. We were recommended to do the tour there, and as it's one of the only Alaskan glacier accessible to walk, we couldn't say no. That was a nice leg stretch and change of movement after being on the bikes for 3 days. That doesn't seem like a long stint, but our bodies were still getting used to the daily exercise with our 40-kilo bikes. We'd reached 4 days of non-stop cycling, and with it being so cold and feeling so remote already, it was getting tough on me mentally and physically. Perfect timing though, as we reached Sheep Mountain Lodge, a little heaven in between the mountains.
We had a bit of a surprise in the morning. It snowed, and we considered having the day off. But I checked and the roads were clear, so we decided to push on even higher up into the mountains.
Really wild.
Probably our naivety of cycling in this kind of terrain is how changeable the weather is at higher altitudes.
Right, remember when I said sunshine, new landscape and all nice and sunny? Well, the weather has changed. That's really bad. Trying to push on so we can reach.
We were really starting to get a sense of how remote we were. A lot of the time we had the roads to ourselves, and for big sections we didn't see cars for half an hour or so. Surprising because this is one of the main roads in Alaska, the Glennallen Highway.
We'd now achieved 6 days of back-to-back cycling and our bodies were demanding rest. And this is when we found Red Eagle Lodge, where we stayed for a couple of days to warm up, refresh and continue to plan our onward route towards Canada. They had a few unique accommodations, like this old school bus or traditional log cabins.
Wow. Cool.
we just had 2 days, full days off here at Red Eagle Lodge. It was really needed. The first 6 days of non-stop cycling it started well, but the last 2 days we had like really long distance, and so far I think the max I've done was 4 days back to back with long distance, but yeah, I was just shattered at the end, so it was nice to find this really special place. We stayed with Richard and Judy, and we just heard so many amazing stories of just bear stories, people living around here. So yeah, it was just nice to feel kind of at home in a way, but that also makes living even harder. But we don't have much to cover today, so that should be nice and sweet to get back on the saddle. And yeah, we're heading to Tok now, so Canadian border isn't too far away.
Now yesterday we popped out to get some supplies, and just down this bike path we think we spotted a black bear. There is sightings in the area of a bear, so kind of matches up, but I'm just going to be cautious going through here. Got the bear spray in front of the bike ready to go. We're on day 7. Just had a couple of days off, and it's always hard to come back to riding when you've been off it. I felt like there was so much momentum when we were cycling last week. It's going over Christachina River. Mostly frozen still. Pockets of water coming through. I was flowing in the middle here.
Weird end of the day. We made it to the campsite. It looked like there was no one. We knocked at different doors, went around, and then we were kind of like, well, maybe they're out, so we'll start setting up the tent and just keep an ear out. And then finally I saw a silhouette through a window, so I was like, oh, so there is someone. So kind of came by the door again, and the lady just from far away was just waving kind of no, but just from very far away, not even coming to the door to speak with us. And we were like, what do you mean no?
Stayed in a person's garden last night. Bob and Eleanor, I managed to find a patch of grass in their garden. Off to Tok today, 60 miles to go, and there hasn't been any shops for 30 miles, and there's none on the next 60, so yeah, hoping to make it to Tok and have a nice meal and stock up again.
Getting closer and closer. Okay, not too sure actually if it's gonna rain on us. It's definitely on the left right now. We're kind of zigzagging through it.
Need to say, Margaux, you know, I have one day where it's gone well.
Yeah, there might be most part of the day goes well and then something goes wrong. Like yesterday was good cycling, but then that campsite lady is like, can't have you guys. And now we had sun most of the day, but of course for the last 30k
We're in a
we get
storm.
a storm, thunder.
It's supposed to be downhill, it's not downhill. Right, off we go into the storm, into this never-ending road that's like 2% uphill. For a couple of nights we rested up in a place called Tok, a small town before the border, and we waited for the sun to come. So we're 20 miles out of Tok now and heading towards Canada, and it feels like a different season entirely. Like we have grass again and different kind of trees, and yeah, the road's feeling a little bit rough because They say this section isn't looked after as much, but yeah, we've got lovely tailwind as well, so that's a bonus. Amazing spot you found us in the woods. You look like a little gnome.
Paddington is inside the mini.
You look like a woodland gnome.
I got my passport!
Need that for tomorrow because we'll be crossing into the port,
The
into
first
Canada.
border.
Amazing.
Yay! Anyhow.
Anyway, off to the gnome home.
Well. Alaska was far more remote than we could have imagined or prepared for. Days without any shops, cafes, or even houses in sight. But in such harsh conditions, we got a real sense of community with Alaskans always offering help, or simply a warm welcome, or even just a chat as we crossed paths.
We're about to leave Alaska behind and cross into the Yukon. Just approaching the border crossing now. Middle of nowhere, feels very surreal. But yeah, there's a bit of no man's land before the Canadian border, so we have to pedal through that, and luckily the border is open 24/7, so that's something. We're not stuck there.